Hey guys, this is V-Man from No Budget Productions, and we are going to be doing a Constar commentary on the fan film The 11th Hour. So, this is my sort of a Star Trek 3 montage where it kind of starts fading in, you know, uh, the bluish tone. Kind of a recap of the previous film, like Star Trek 2. Uh, I really wanted something like that, similar to uh, Menard recapping a speech that he was giving the entire fleet. Um, at this point, Menard has passed away. He dies in the previous film, so the uh, speech that he's given is kind of that's why there was the Star Trek 3 kind of reference of him kind of panning toward the camera, the Star Trek 3 vibe. Um, the speech I wanted to give to everybody, um, like right there, I wanted that to have that Star Trek 3 vibe because that, as a kid, that always had a huge impact on me. Because I was like, oh man, Spock's dead. Oh, it sucks. And I wanted to invoke the same type of emotion here because Menard's passed. He's not with the fleet. He's not with them. And this was the entire point of the films. This is the climax of the film. Menard, he knew there was a destiny. He knew there was a battle that was coming, and he was never supposed to make it. He was kind of, there was always supposed to be that tragedy to the character. Um, I had talked to Yava about a year before we shot this, and I had told her that I wanted her to be the captain. There was a possibility that it was either going to be Greg Taft or, um, or Yava. And um, it eventually boiled down to Yava. I felt she had the acting chops for it, and the it was about passing the torch to characters that Menard's not here, but the crew has to go on. Because a lot of times in real life, like it's like that. Like people pass, and life goes on. Like life doesn't stop just because we lose people in our lives. And that was very much right here. So at that point, it comes to, okay, well, who takes over the ship? Um, I felt that the character of Russo, because I felt like both Greg and Yava had the acting chops to take over as captain. But I felt like Greg needed to be in this film. I felt like he needs to be in engineering. And I felt like Yava, I felt like she deserved to be in that command chair. I mean, they both, they both could have easily slipped into the chair, no problem. But I felt like she had earned that spot, um, and could handle the responsibility of it. And I think she did a wonderful job. Now this is my friend Mike. He cosplays as a Cardassian, and goes to conventions. And I had asked if he would be interested in playing his Cardassian character in this film, and he did a wonderful job. And he improvised with the Cardassian mask on the wall, and bringing the bottle of Canar, and drinking it. Like I loved how he improvised those things, because of course we use them in the script, or in the film. And these are the things that uh, people in doing the combox type stuff, and asking people to shoot from home. This is the things that I have been very fortunate to kind of get away with. Is I've never had a budget, but I've had good-hearted friends who are willing to take the time to do all the stuff on their own for our productions. Because I mean, look at that makeup; it looks wonderful, especially with the improvised Canar bottle, the mask, and And technically it may not be as accurate as seeing him sit on the battleship of a Cardassian ship, but to me it's like, man, this guy's a character all his own. And his acting was wonderful. Mike did a wonderful job here, and I love that. And the fact that we didn't have to spend thousands of dollars on a makeup artist. It was just, hey, Mike did this on his own, and he did it for our production. I was very humbled by that, and he's been in a couple of our films. I think he was in Break Free, and I think he was in one other film of mine. But the fact that he did this, and for the character, he was one of the ones that we rescued on Break Free. And then he helped us. Yes, that's right. He helped us find Eobard, right before the ship crashes. So this is a character that the Constar has. He's not a huge reoccurring character, but if you are looking for him, you will recognize him. So the fact that he's here now attacking the Constar, it's kind of one of those things where, just like the theme of this film, all the little people who history might have kind of flaunted, their nose at, all the little people mean something. We're not the Picards, we're not the Rikers, we're not the Datas, but we're all important in this moment in history. This character, of course, 7 years ago at Wolf 359, or however long ago it was, he was just a throwaway character, but now he's vital. And it's the same thing with Martin Bennett's character, who kind of gives the other characters, the order to, hey, go ram that Cardassian ship so we can get through this. If it wasn't for him giving that order, we wouldn't have made it. And this is a guy that, a couple of years ago, he was the guy that crashed the Constar. All these characters are characters that were at one point throwaway people. But in this film, we're shown that everybody matters. And I really wanted that to be the highlight of the film, because I feel like so many of us go through life and go, we don't matter. But that's not true, because we all have our moment if we wait and we seize it. And I feel like that theme is very important in this film, especially being the climax of the series. And even now, because I think we have like 30 films after this one. But this is the climax of the series. Even though we have plenty of them afterwards, like this is the climax of it. This was the point of the series. But I do like how I do like how he kind of gets into Yava's face, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to have that explained to me then. And he's just sitting there drinking, thinking he's won the fight. Like, I love that whole exchange between them, and Starfleet slowly flying toward the Cardassian fleet, and I love the fact that the Constar, being an old time ship, is there. Like, this is Menard Fleet, and I did that not out of ego, but like I did that out of respect for the character. Like, they would want to have Menard. They would want to have, hey, let's give Menard his own fleet. Like, our captain has passed away. Like, we're kind of taking this and owning it. Like, this is Menard's fleet. A ship with the Odyssey, a ship with the Armitage, a ship with the Destiny, a ship with the Ellis. It's all of these. Like, this is a ship with the Smithfield. This is Menard Fleet. And I did that because I really thought at this point, like, he's earned that, and now he can't be with us. And I felt like they would all, like, that's something that they would do, But I love how this slowly builds the tension between this fight, and then boom, like this right here was an earned moment, especially in a Vance film. You simply don't get the attack. We never fight. We never fight. And this, when boom. Oh, I love that. I love how the Odyssey just fucking lays waste to that Cardassian ship, just fires at him. I love that. And that's very much reminiscent of in DS9, where a regular Galaxy class flies up and shoots. I really wanted to replicate that, except with our version of the Odyssey, which is a Galaxy X class, a Galaxy Dreadnought class. I loved that moment in DS9, and I wanted to replicate that. And I think that came out quite nice. I love that CGI shot. That was a beautiful shot. I love the sense of urgency with all of these people, how they're just going through it. I love this. I mean, it may not be the most dynamic, battle, but for me, it's like these are characters that we've all known over, hundreds of Combox episodes, and now we're finally in battle. I really love this film. This was a very well-earned film for this. I don't think I've heard anybody knock this film. It's a great film. And for this, I know when they were editing this, Jason used a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for kind of the shaky cam type vibe to get the battle. And I like the fact that he did that. That was very cool. And there's a lot of stuff, a lot of between the scenes that are used, that they do in production to get that type of effect, especially on fan films. Good old Josh Irwin, Mary Jane. I love the visuals on this. I think we really pulled it out of the park. There's Jason Spriggs himself, the man, the myth, the legend, who edited this film, and yeah, he did an awesome job. This took a long time to edit, but there's a lot of moving parts on this film, and he did very, very good. And we did a lot of CGI on this. Lee Gartrell did a lot of the CGI. Joey Benoist did a lot of CGI. Like this shot right here. Let me pause. So this shot right here, right above, right here, where the top part of the bridge is, I had put down the camera in front of the Chekhov and Sulu station, and I just tilted it up, and I allowed for the top of the bridge to be seen. Now, in real life, all that's up there is plywood, ceiling. You can't see anything. And I had talked with Jason ahead of time and said, hey, what I'd like to do is I'd like to see the shot of the battle from inside the bridge's perspective, because that's never been done before. We've seen, like in The Cage, we've seen through the bubble from the top looking in, but we've never seen from the inside looking up. And that, from my perspective, looking at this battle from inside the bridge has got to be horrifying. So I placed it there, and I figured that would give us enough of a visual to see what's going on outside. And he took a visual effect shot that we had and kind of warped it around the top part of the frame, and just gave us enough of a warp bubble effect, or not warp bubble, but a dome bubble effect, that it looked like what I had asked for. And I fucking love that shot. It is so beautiful and beautifully done. Because you can tell, like, you know what the battle is, and it's just the look of horror. I mean, if you look at Yava's face as she looks up, even in the command pose, she looks up for just a brief second. And then right behind her, if you notice Josh, as he looks up, of like, oh shit. I love that. I love that one moment while Ben and Victoria are at their post at the Chekhov and Sulu station, like doing what they're supposed to be doing. But for just a brief moment, you got Yava and Josh in the background with the oh shit look as the battle's happening up top. To me, I think that's a perfect moment of what's going on here. And I think that those type of things, the subtle things in fan films, like this type of film, for like I've said twice in this podcast or in this commentary already, like this was an earned moment. This may not have the polish of other battles from high budget films, but I feel like this film has the heart that others don't. Character moments that others don't. Like things like that, I really enjoy. Um, it's horrifying because if you've been in any type of situation like that, you would see stuff like that. So now we start having the smoke and the battle damage and stuff in the film. The stakes are starting to get a lot more higher in the film. Um, there's the USS Destiny just getting pummeled, and I really wanted our hero ships from the other films to to take a beating, and I wanted it to be that not everybody would survive, not all the hero ships would survive, not all the crew members would survive. Like I wanted there to be real stakes in this film because if everybody makes it out alive, what's the point of the battle? You know, and she did a wonderful job here. Um, and there's the Destiny left adrift. And this is the moment where the Constar's like, "Look, we're not going to make it out of here. We're too fucked up. Screw it. Head back into the battle. And let's try to rescue as many ships as we can. Maybe somebody else can make this." So we head back in and we go. And that this is the moment where it's like, this is, we're not the ship that defines history. We're the ship that helps everyone else. Like this is who we are. Um, and I like that about, as you can see, we're venting plasma from the warp nacelle. Like, we're fucked, and I like that. And the Odyssey is getting pummeled. The Odyssey is just, and this was a shot that I had talked with Jason about doing, with the Odyssey. Just, I really wanted that third warp nacelle to get blasted off. Cause in DS9, the Odyssey, which is a regular Galaxy class, gets destroyed. And this one, I didn't want my Odyssey to be destroyed, but I did want that third warp nacelle to get blown off. And what he came up with was wonderful. Like, again, it shows the stakes of what's going on. Like, this is supposed to be like a futuristic starship, and the Jem'Hadar just fucking take it out. And I love that because, again, the Destiny is adrift, the Odyssey is crippled, and the Constar is sitting there going, we're screwed. I wanted all the stakes to just be there. We've lost several people we know, and then here comes Krorath and the Klingon Menard Fleet, which of course the Monjuls are classic Klingons that were on a colony. If you remember from the earlier films, that's what they were alluded to. Hence the TOS, the cartoon uniforms that the one Klingon has there. He's a Monjul. And we're tractor beamed out, to rescue so we can go try to save DS9. And there we go. So we can continue firing. We just can't move. So they're tractor beaming us out while we fire, and it's a great way to end the film, where they're helping us out and we're going. And we start seeing the damage. It's, ensued. But and then, of course, this was an abrupt way to kind of end the film. But, and that was good old Admiral Vanden Boss, who, obviously doesn't age, from TOS to Star Trek Picard to, the guy just doesn't age, man. He's got Botox. he's, This to me was a great film. The ending. If I could go back and do it, I would change the ending slightly and add a little bit more. What happens after. Um, but I, there just really wasn't anything left to do, so I didn't go there. Um, but I was overall I was very happy with what we had, and um, I think what we walked away with. I mean, it pretty much is. Here's the battle. It's something we haven't really done before, and we're giving you something we haven't given you before. Um, Again, for being the climax of the film, and proving the point of even the little people are important. You get the sense of loss, you get the sense of accomplishment, and you really feel with the characters at the end when we kind of overcome the odds. You get the sense of that rush. I really enjoyed the film. I hope you guys did too. I want to thank you guys all for joining me on this. If you enjoyed the film commentary, give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Let me know what films you guys would like me to do commentaries on next. I always listen to those, and even if I'm a little slow on it, I get to them eventually. But with that being said, everyone, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.